from the bowling capital of the world, America's #1 bowling show. Championship Bowling. From the Firestone Bowlerama here in Akron, Ohio, it's Championship Bowling. I'm Fred Wolf, along with Pat Patterson. On our right, Sam Bach, our statistician on the left. $70,000 in prizes over these weeks, as you'll see, the world's greatest professional bowlers in match game competition. And we got a couple of good ones here again this week, Pat, with Tommy Tuttle and, of course, Ed Bourdase.
We've got two very good rolling balls, Fred, and in practice they've both been hitting that pocket with regularity, so it should be up to the one that carries the most that's going to win today.
Well, let's have a word from the boys. They're talking to the bear hunter first from down King, North Carolina. Tommy, how you feeling this week?
Pretty good. I've been hitting the pocket good.
You better speak up a little bit. I want to be able to hear everything you say.
All right.
You have been hitting the pocket?
Yes, I've been hitting pretty good.
No excuses then over the next 3 games? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Just knock them down.
Just knock them down.
Right.
How about you, Edward, boy?
I think I'll come out and I'm going bear hunting today.
You're going bear hunting?
Yes.
You've got yourself a fella there that knows something about that. You better do it with the bowling pins.
Well, I got a gun, too, if I can't do it with the ball.
All right, I think it'll be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by now. We're getting ready for the first game of 3 on Championship Bowling from Akron, Ohio, right after this interesting word. Tommy Tuttle from King, North Carolina, winning the toss, electing to start on the left side. All games starting from the left. Then the competition moves from right to left. This will put Tuttle going out on 24, the first and third game. As we refer to the right side, he's in, carries the strike in the first frame. And, Pat, as you mentioned, 2 boys that throw rollers.
Yes, they do, Fred. They roll just about as much as you can roll a bowling ball. Ed has a very good rolling ball. And Tommy's, we saw there, was terrifically a little bit high, but he carried him straight back.
4-pin. That ball was certainly in there. Now, when you refer to a rolling ball, Pat, are you referring that the roll of the ball is between the thumb and the finger holes?
No,
or is it still outside?
Both of these balls, boys, the roll is outside the thumb hole.
There's the cover. Bourdase now moving to the left. Tuttle with a strike. Bourdase with a spare. First frame, $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up. Each bowler makes 2 appearances, meeting a different opponent each time. Total pinfall for his 2 appearances will qualify the top 2 scorers for Championship Bowling's World Series. Ed's had 2 in there. He had to settle for the 4-pin, but he's right back as Tuttle now tries for the first double of the match. There it is. He didn't wait very long.
We're going to see a lot of pocket shooting here, Fred. Both boys, as I said in practice, were living in that pocket, and they sure haven't changed anything since the show started.
Tommy Tuttle, all this kidding about him being a hunter is quite true. Down in North Carolina, this fellow loves to hunt for bears, rabbits. I've heard a little story about this fellow, about hunting, eating, and bowling. Get it out of there. That's 3 of them.
There's what I mean by a rolling ball, Fred. That ball had a lot of traction as it hit the pocket, and for a lot of people, it had been a 5-7 split. But for Tommy, he got those pins coming off the side, and he's got a turkey.
5 strikes in a row in any one game. The boys start a $250 bonus, $50 additional for each strike on top of the 5. Bourdase for the double. Quickly. He's there. So Bourdase has had 3 in that pocket solid. Tuttle has had a shaker on the right side, one of those hangers, but the one on the left, the third strike, as Pat Patterson mentioned, kicked out the 5-7. It's still Tuttle. The margin, 10 pins. Bourdase in the 4th. On 2. Nice reach. Solid 10.
That was too good, Fred. He rolled that ball right from the foul line. It was as perfect as you could put the ball in the pocket. But there's our old nemesis, that 10 pin.
Oh, it just seemed like about 3 pins went around that 10. Everything looked high, and the 10 pin wasn't even brushed. Cross lane, little extra speed, the cover, and Ed just throws that fist out there. That puts him 20 pins behind if Tuttle comes up with another strike.
There's a difference, though, Fred. Ed's been in the pocket 4 times. He's got only 2 strikes. Tommy can get a strike here. He'll have 4 out of 4. And it looks good.
There it is. Whoa.
I don't know if you noticed, Fred, he was a little faster on that one, and the ball held all the way down. The other one he rolled out and came back.
Yes, his strike there in the second frame was, as you boys say, he was swinging with it out and back, or bellied it, as they say. That one, much faster, and we're up to bonus money. 4 strikes. This strike worth $250. Watch it. Oh, baby. All right, this boy's cashing in a hurry. First 5.
Yes, he is.
Come on, baby.
Shows no signs of stopping either.
Here's Bourdase, Fresno, California, in the 5th. We're almost halfway in the first game. Back in the pocket. In again, another 10 pin. Bourdase had 5 in a row in the pocket. Has carried 2. Tuttle has been in the pocket 5 times and carried 5.
Ed swung that one quite a ways that time, Fred. He went out about a board or 2 farther than he did the time before when he struck on this lane.
Conversion by Bourdase. So at the end of 5 frames in the first game of 3, championship bowling from Akron, Ohio, Tommy Tuttle is all the way. Bourdase is 88 with a spare. It's Ed Bourdase in the 6th frame. First game. The reach, still in the pocket. Carried 50. So Bourdase has not been out of the pocket. Let's take a look, Pat, at Tommy Tuttle with 5 strikes in a row. Let everybody take a look at this fine, easy delivery of Tommy Tuttle from King, North Carolina. Just a little tight, just a bit tight.
That ball was about the same line as the last one, Fred, but he never had the speed on that one he had on the last one, so it jumped just a wee bit at the tail end. And he's got a 4-9 split to shoot at here.
Well, he stops at 5. The first 5, he's picked up $250 in bonus money. The 4 and the 9, and he goes past the 4, counting 28, 18, and 8. And Bourdase can get back into this game in a hurry with another strike. Tuttle moves left.
Another strike by Ed now. The next time Ed bowls, it can be a real close match. What looked like a runaway can be real close again now.
We're in the 7th. Still in the pocket. Got away with a shaker. Bourdase.
Excuse me, Fred.
Go ahead.
If he'd had that speed last time, he would have had a strike. He'd have had 7 in a row now.
Here's Bourdase now, who has been in the pocket every frame. He's left a 4-pin and 2 10-pins. He's on a strike. This strike would put him within 6 pins of his opponent, who started with the first 5. So an open frame can be quite damaging. That'll have to hurry. All but the 2-pin. Bourdase went around with that one.
He sure did. He swung that ball out quite a bit.
You know, there's a gentleman in the audience here this week named Robert Richardson. And you're looking at him right there. You should see him bowl in the Senior Citizens League here at the Bowl-O-Rama. Quite a league. And the league members don't feel that they're retired, really. They may be retired from business, but not from everyday life and the things that are taking place around them. They enjoy the activity, both mental and physical, that they get from bowling every week. It's lots of fun, not only to meet together, but to actually exercise together, to get out, throw that bowling ball, enjoy the fun and the spirit and the sportsmanship. Leaving the 4-pin, Ed Bourdase. If you're a senior citizen, you check out the senior citizen bowling leagues in your respective area. It's a lot of fun. Bourdase now with a 4-pin actually has had 1 ball out of the pocket, and that was very close, leaving nothing but the 3-pin. We're in the 8th. Bourdase cover.
Well, let's see if Tommy can get back on his string again here. He's still got room for bonus money right after that split. And he hasn't actually been out of the pocket yet. That 4-9 was real close.
Yeah, it's not easy to get bonus money twice in one game. He can do it. 10-pin stops him. So that takes care of the bonus money for this game. Tuttle starting with the first 5, leaving the 4-9 on a good tight pocket hit on this side. And I believe on that ball, Pat, he just didn't want to be too tight again.
That's right, Fred. He had a little more zip on that ball and went out just a little bit with it. It hit the pocket good, but it was sliding a little bit too much, and it left that 10-pin. What we call a half pocket hit.
Tuttle moves left. Still kicking around a 240 game. This fellow was quite a baseball player. Played a lot of semi-pro ball down North Carolina. Scrappy second sacker. He's getting away with him on the left side.
That was a little bit better rolling ball that time, Fred. His hand came up a little higher in the follow-through, and the ball was rolling much better than it was the previous time here on 24. If you follow through and get that ball rolling good, it carries a lot of pins for you.
Ed Pop Bottles Bourdase. He stands absolutely erect, takes that big breath of fresh air and leaves another 10-pin. Now, if Ed doesn't get too disgusted here, or let's say get down a little because he's leaving the 10-pin, which I guess happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's one of Ed's big troubles. He gets tapped an awful lot. He hits the pocket about 10 or 11 times almost every game. He's very accurate, and he gets a lot of taps.
Of course, when you start thinking that things are going against you and you're getting too many taps, it's the big difference between a great bowler and just a good bowler as to how they accept these breaks, so it doesn't affect their style for the rest of the match.
That's right, Fred. Ed listens to a tape every morning or every afternoon before he goes bowling, and sort of gets hypnotized, comes out. He says, it won't bother me, but when you leave 10 pins like he's leaving here, I think it has to bother him a little bit. That's his 4th one already.
He might have that tape running somewhere. I see him shaking his head out there. Bourdase started with a solid 4. Came back with a double. Then left 2 10-pins. Then a strike. Then he was a little wide, leaving the 2-pin. Then a 4, and he's had a 10 in the 9th frame, and here another 10-pin in the 10th frame. Now, you can't throw a game much better than that. This will be his 10th pocket. 10th ball in the pocket. So he threw 10 balls in the pocket. Actually, 11 balls in the pocket out of 12.
That's pretty good shooting, Fred, for a 204. I think Ed would like to bowl exactly the same way next game and carry just a little bit better. Carry a whole lot better.
Here's Tuttle in the 10th now with a chance to take a 40-pin lead if he can go all the way. He's on the strike in the 9th. Another 4-pin. Well, he kicked the 9 out, Pat.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit lucky that he dropped the ball at the foul line that time, Fred. If he'd have got the ball out with any left, he'd have been on the Brooklyner on the nose. He got away with that one pretty good. That ball was tight all the way.
Well, a great exhibition of pocket shooting here in the first game of 3 on championship bowling from Akron, Ohio. There are 2 games to go, $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the loser. These boys naturally thinking of total pins and championship bowling's World Series. Tell you more about that later. So for Tuttle, it's 224. For Bourdase, it is 204. And I'd like to ask Ed a question here. Ed, do you have your tape running? Or what does it say on those 10 pins? Any answer?
No, I can't say anything right now, Fred.
We were just talking, Ed. What would you do? You're not going to change anything.
I'm not going to change a thing. Just hope that I can carry. I think I might be throwing the ball just a little bit too hard.
A little too
Which is
fast?
a little bit abnormal for me. I'm more slow than I am fast. I'm at my best when I'm a little bit slower with the ball.
We noticed, Tommy, for you, that 5th strike that you got after you had the first, or I believe it was the 4th strike, actually, here on the right side. You threw that one with a little more zip, if I may say. Did
I think
you
so.
did that?
I think I got a little slow on that 4-9.
You held that line beautifully, and on the 4-9, you just slowed it down a little bit.
I think.
Well, we're expecting big things from you boys in the second game, so stay with us here at Championship Bowling. We're at the Firestone Bowlerama in Akron, Ohio, the rubber capital of the world. Ed Bourdase starting the second game. Championship Bowling, Akron, Ohio. Fred Wolf, along with Pat Patterson. Bourdase trailing by 20 pins. Still in that pocket. Well, maybe Ed has straightened out that 10-pin, Pat.
You'll be able to see a 250 game this time, Fred, because he's sure hitting that pocket. It's just a matter of time till he starts carrying.
What pin was that? In front of the 5. Did you notice
That was
pin
probably the 2-pin off the side, or the 4-pin. I don't know which. It happened so fast I couldn't see.
Peculiar action to see
Yes,
a pin
it was.
going in front of the 5 coming from the left. This fella can pile up the pins off that kickback sometimes with that center angle. Tommy playing very much to the inside. Interesting here in that Tommy, throwing the faster ball of the 2, is playing deeper or farther inside than Bourdase, who was throwing the ball slower. And Ed is more to the outside.
That's right, Fred. I don't know if Tommy realizes it. In practice, he was going just about straight down the 10th chord or the second arrow on 24. Since the match has started, he seems to be drifting a little left. He may not realize that.
Well, he got the 5 out of there. On the left side, as we refer to it, lane 23, Tuttle has kicked that 5-7 around in real good shape.
Yes, he sure
Been
has.
looking at it.
Yes, he has.
5 is the last one down.
That's one of Dick Weber's great strikes, getting them off the side like that. They don't say how, they say how many.
Bourdase now trying for the double in a hurry.
That looks better.
Nice turn. 10-pin, that's his 5th 10-pin. 4 10-pins the first game. Here's a 10-pin as he tries for his first double in game number 2.
I thought that ball was going to finish a lot stronger than it did, Fred. It seemed to hang right when it got to the pocket, and it left that 10.
There's the cover. So it's 20-20 for each man. Tuttle, of course, on the strike. Bourdase not getting his double. Tuttle out in front. The margin is 20 pins. Ed Bourdase won his first title back in 1952, California State Singles Championship. Went on to become the Northern California Match Game Champion in 58 and again in 60. 5-7, he got the 5 out, left nothing but the 7. That ball seemed to get away from him.
He lofted that one out over the foul line a little farther, Fred. He has been on 23, rolling the ball right from the foul line and hitting the pocket solid. That one looked like he pitched it out just a little farther, and it seemed to slide a little farther.
7-pin converted. Bourdase. In the third is Tuttle. Tommy Tuttle. Let's watch him in slow motion. There's a big double by Tommy Tuttle.
When you talk about a rolling ball, Fred, it has to be rolling when you hit that high and carry that 4 off the side like that. That's a real good ball.
This fellow won the Baltimore Open in 1964, winning close to $15,000 on the PVA Tour. And the 65 Winter Tour, he won over $10,000, averaged 208. There's another one. He only bowled in 6 tournaments on the Winter Tour. Tommy doesn't make all the events. He keeps himself pretty busy back there in King, North Carolina. He used to be a tobacco inspector years ago. And a great hunter, as we refer to him. We'll tell you a little bit more about that. Bourdase in the 4th. 2-4-5-8, the bucket, and Ed seems to have lost a little of his enthusiasm here, Pat.
Seems like he's lost his concentration. He's getting a little aggravated now. When he throws a ball good, he's got a 10-pin. And his opponent's carrying pretty good.
Cover. He picked the 2 off the 5. I believe Ed had that one pegged in the minute it left his hand.
He had a feeling it might do it because he pulled up on his pants legs hoping he wouldn't chop, but he made a perfect shot when he knocked that 2 off the 5.
Bourdase now moving to the left in that margin. Getting to a point where Mr. Bourdase is going to only have one way to go. It's going to be that way. Now, the breaks, of course, which way they go, often set up a game. Now, had Bourdase carried that 10-pin, which was about the same hit he had in the second frame for the double, I believe his 3rd and 4th frames might have been entirely different.
Very definitely, Fred. A lot of this game is your frame of mind. If you're carrying good, you get the good frame of mind.
Come on, baby.
Right on going.
Number 4.
That's exactly what Tommy's got now, a good frame of mind. He feels like he can strike him where he rolls that ball.
Well, we're going over to the bonus window again. This fella started with the first 5 in the first game. Boy, he didn't wait for that bonus money. This game, he started with a spare in the first frame and follows it with 4, and here we go again. This was the same side that he got his 5th one on in the first game. The turn, he's there. He leaves the 4-pin on what looked like to be a beautiful hit. No bonus.
That was a good hit, Fred. It was just about the same as the one on 24 where the 4-pin went straight back, but the ball might have finished just a little stronger down there at the tail end than it looked like.
I believe Harry Smith calls that the MMM ball. Have you heard that, Pat?
No, I haven't heard that one yet.
The MMM ball means make more money. Let's take a look at Ed Bourdase now in slow motion, trying for the double. Boy, Ed just walked away from that one.
That ball, he never gave any room to it at all. He has been light a couple times in that lane, the half pocket 10, so he wanted to get a little higher, but I know he never wanted to get that high.
Nice cover, the 6 and the 10 as Bourdase moves to the left. It It's championship bowling from Akron, Ohio. Each week, you see two of the world's greatest professional bowlers in match game competition. They each make 2 appearances. Top 2 men qualify for the World Series. Bourdase with a 5-pin. He touched it. The wobble, the wiggle, and that's about it. It's still standing. Bourdase unable to get started. There's the wobble and the wiggle put right back on that AMF tournament grade bowling pin that Bourdase is having a problem or two with. He covers the spare. Doesn't get there. The 1, the 2, and the 10. Tommy got very wide on that one.
Yes, he did, Fred. He went out quite a bit more than he has been going, with good speed, too.
There is still life for Bourdase. The spare maker indicates the ball between the 1 and the 2. A beautiful conversion. Boy, there was no doubt about that one.
That was just a wide spare for Tom that time, Fred. Made it just the way he's supposed to.
I wonder, you folks that watch championship bowling over the weeks ever feel embarrassed, you non-bowlers, when somebody asks you to go bowling. There's no reason for that. There's a big one for Tuttle in the 8th. You know, there's a first time for everyone, and your friends will recall their first time, I'm sure. The ball might feel a little heavy. The release might feel awkward. But after a while, you get used to it. The more you bowl, the more your confidence, the better your game, the more fun you have. Get out and try it. Well, there's a new one. The 4-7.
4-7. It's a 4-pin with a little bit of company there. Pins just go straight in the air on that kind of hit. That's one of Ed's favorite sayings, Fred. 4s and 10s, 10s and 4s.
4s and 10s, 10s and 4s.
And we can see why. He leaves quite a few of them.
Well, he's had a lot of balls in that pocket. He's had 5 10-pins. He's had a couple of 7s. Now the 4-7. Tuttle left a solid 4-9 on 5 in a row. There's another 10-pin. Tommy left a solid 4 on 4 in a row this game. Still sitting on 256. Tuttle opened with 224. Careful. Careful. Well, I like to go back to the second frame of this game, Pat, and say that had he just nudged that 10-pin on one of those in-betweeners and carried, this game might have taken on a completely different situation.
It sure could. You've got, everybody gets the same amount of breaks, but it's getting them in the right spot that counts, and Ed sure hasn't gotten the breaks at the right time.
Tuttle for the double. Doesn't kick the 5.
Tommy's a little faster than he normally is, Fred, and that's why he's not quite getting that ball back solid to the pocket. But he's having a lot of luck with that thin hit, so he may as well stay there.
Well, he's done a great job putting his strikes together. 5 in a row the first game with 1 open for 224. He's had 4 in a row this game. Going into the 10th and a chance still for 236. Right back. Solid 10.
Well, that's only about the second one that Tommy's had, so he can feel fairly fortunate there. That was a beautiful ball.
Tuttle covers.
If Tommy can come back with 9 pins this frame, now Fred, he's going for a triplicate, 2 224s.
Well, there's 8 for 220.
223, Fred.
223. In the 10th. Out and back. And Bourdase carry. There we are. Nice and easy.
Those two beautifully rolled balls, Fred. He rolled them all the way. That's the way it normally bowls there. One or two bad breaks when you start changing your game around to try to carry, and it fouls your whole game up. Another nice one.
Well, there were three beautiful strikes, and all Bourdase can get out of this one is 179. 3 strikes in the 10th. Well, Pat, if Bourdase can hold that line now for the third game, certainly he's not too far out of this match at this time. 1 game to go.
Oh, he's quite a bit down, Fred, but you never know. He can come up with a 300 game or a 289 that picks up a lot of pins. He's sure been around that pocket. It's just a matter of getting that ball to carry.
I'm going to ask Ed a question here. We've been talking 10 pins most of the time. Ed, you've looked at 6 of them.
I'm overturning the ball a little bit, Fred. The last 3 balls, I kind of swung straight up with my arm, which is a good swing for me to get the straight roll, no side roll.
Tommy, how about you? You're sitting on a good total here, 447. You need a little 240, 250?
Yeah, I need about a 250.
Have you got it? You got it in you?
I hope so.
All right, let's
I hope
see.
it comes out.
Let's see if you can get
I
it
know
out.
it's in me.
All right, now we're expecting a lot of activity here in the third and final game of this match from Akron, Ohio. It's championship bowling where you see the world's greatest pro bowlers in action every week. Akron, Ohio, the home of the Professional Bowlers Association. It's Tommy Tuttle, the youngster from King, North Carolina. Starting off the third and final game, Tommy has a lead of 64 pins. He goes in with 447. Bourdase is 383. Set it too high, 47. Crowded that one.
Yes, he did. That's about the first time he's been high on that lane. He's been hitting 23 real well.
There's the straight. Tommy Tuttle, who's had one open frame, a solid 4-9 on top of his 5 in a row that he started the first game with. He had a 5-bagger the first game, a 4-bagger the second game, trying for bonus money, left a solid 4. Bourdase, 3 in a row in this lane to finish the second game. Once more, right back in the pocket. 4 beautiful strikes here on the right side.
He hasn't changed a thing, Fred, from the 10th frame of last game. If he can just keep going now.
Yeah, that's a lot of pins to give Tuttle. A lot of pins to give anybody.
That's a lot of pins to give me, Fred.
Well,
even you.
I would agree with that. Thank you. Never. Not enough. 2, 4, 5, 8, Bourdase just didn't get there. So again, the left side is giving Ed, I believe, more trouble than the right side. This time, he covers. The AMF square maker indicated the ball between the 2 and the 5, and Bourdase carried it out beautifully. Ed is a former AMF mechanic. He certainly knows what's going on back there at all times. He should know how to have that ball knock that 10-pin over. Here we come. A lot of action, but the 7-pin slightly off spot. And the AMF pin spotter, of course, will put that pin right back off spot. One of the regulations of the American Bowling Congress that the AMF machine does so well. All competition is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress. All competition, cross lane. Cover by Tuttle. We can watch those 3 white dots spinning around there. Pat, are you... I know Bill Bonetta is very conscious of the amount of revolutions that a ball makes the guidance system that they talk about. Do you watch this very closely?
I don't think my eyes are good enough, Fred. I had to ask Bill Bonetta how many times my ball turns over. I couldn't quite catch up with those dots. He told me I get 10 revolutions, so I have to believe him.
There's another 7-pin by Tuttle. Not getting enough of that pocket.
Those dots will tell you quite a story, though. If you get them rolling right, you can see it.
Tuttle in the third. 1938. 2 7-pins. He had a 4-7 in the first frame, and he covered.
You can tell when the ball's rolling there, Fred. As Tommy throws the ball, the dots are on the right side of the ball. As it goes down the lane, they turn over to the top. And when it goes into the pins, they're going end over end, right into the pocket. And that's when the ball is rolling. It's about as strong as you can get it.
There's a new one, the 3-6.
That's the first time we saw that this match. Ed eased up quite a bit on that one. He was thinking probably about almost missing the hit pin on 23, so he compensated for it on lane 24. Look out.
Well, Ed has certainly lost his line. I believe he's lost his concentration as he misses another spare. He missed one in the 9th frame, the 10-pin of the second game. He picked the 2 off the 5, and he left up the 2, 4, 5, 8. And now the 3-6 back in the pocket. Beautiful. And that time, of course, he went left on the miss, which was a little different situation than he had in the second frame when he moved left on the strike. Come on, baby. The 2, the 5.
Well, looks like Tommy's having a little trouble getting lined up this game, Fred. I guess maybe he figures he's so far ahead he can relax, but it's a bad thing to do when you're working for total pins for the 6 games.
Total pins, very important. The top 2 scorers in 2 appearances qualify for the World Series. When they join Dick Weber, the National All-Star champion, be careful, covers. And, of course, Billy Hardwick, the winner of the Firestone Tournament of Champions. These 4 bowlers will compete in the World Series of Bowling with an $18,000 added purse. So it should be a great 4 weeks as we wind up championship bowling here in Akron, Ohio. Be careful, boy, he set that one beautifully. That looked like it might be high, Pat.
He had enough zip on that one. It stayed right there all the way down. It was just as solid as you could put the ball in the pocket. Oh, he went way out with that one.
Bourdase, the 2, 4, 5 with company. 2, 4, 5 with a man in motion. That 7-pin is the tough pin, actually, here.
That's not the easiest spare in the world, the 2, 4, 5. It's very easy to chop.
He's going between the 2, 5. Look out. And he picked.
Ed just said he hasn't had that spare in 10 years. I'll have to disagree with her. I think he's had it someplace along the line.
At the end of 5 for Tuttle, it's 76 with a strike. Bourdase open in the 5th with 75. Bourdase wide open in the 6th frame now. The 6, the 7, and the 10, and what a shot after Bourdase just missed an easy spare.
Well, that was much easier than picking a spare, Fred. Besides, he got a bigger hand for it. I think he's a showman.
Was that an easier shot, Ed, than the spare you just missed? Here's Tuttle. We're in the 6th. Tommy on a strike. He has a big 5 frames coming up. The difference between a nice 670, 680, or a 650. Here it comes. He's got it. And And we're on our way. Possibly this fella can cash in with bonus money again here in game number 3. He started the first game with 5, a spare, and 4 in the second game before a solid 4 pin stopped him. Now he's on 2 as he moves left in the 7th. Tuttle out in front, a comfortable margin. But Tommy thinking of pinfall. Once more. Come on, baby. Yes, sir. That's going to the bank.
That ball must have ears. He said, come on, baby, and it did.
So Tuttle now up around 660 if he can fill the last 3. Every strike gives him 10 additional pins. Nice, easy roller. Bourdase kicks out the 4 pin.
You know, Fred, the boys on the tour these days are working a whole lot with having the weight of the bowling ball in the right place, not just top weight, but the weight situated in the right place, and Ed is one of the authorities on this. A lot of the boys are having Ed fix their balls up for him and try to get the right roll. It's a big thing in carrying the pins.
I understand he drills a lot of balls
yes,
for the boys on the tour. There we are, a double for Bourdase. Well, a lot of people can't believe that a half ounce or an ounce and a half in any given spot on a bowling ball can make that much difference. You believe it does.
Oh, yes, it makes the ball roll a lot different.
We're in the 8th. Tommy Tuttle from King, North Carolina. Boy, here's a big one. He lines it in there. Too high. He's double. Oh! How about those apples?
That was a good hit, Fred. The pins just fell a little funny that time.
Yes. That infectious smile of Tommy Tuttle. You know, folks, when you bowl, sometimes you can come up with such wonderful smiles like that certainly are so good for you. Why don't you try it? It makes you feel like you'd like to. Oh, he doesn't get there with that one. Didn't take advantage of the lucky one, the 2 and the 5. And that was for bonus money.
I think Tommy rushed the foul line a little bit that time, Fred.
The MMM ball. I think the lucky strike he got bothered him more in the next frame.
Sure seems like it. That was the MLM ball. Make less money.
2-5 ball between the 2 pins. The AMF spare maker just showed him how to do it. Follow the arrow. So Tuttle picks up the spare in the 9th. There will be no more bonus money for Tuttle. Bourdase still has a chance. He's on 2. He needs this one. Come on, Ed. Give it the turn. 10 pin again. That is number 7 for Bourdase. 7th 10 pin.
You know, Fred, when you figure each 10 pin could be worth anywhere from 10 to 33 pins, according to whether you pick it or not. 7 10 pins is about 100 pins anyhow. Ed could have a real good total had he been carrying a little better.
There's a conversion. In the 9th, we go into the 10th frame. Tuttle sitting on another 220 game. If he doesn't double in the 10th, he can be quite consistent here. 224, 223. Bourdase. In the 10th, 3rd game. Too high. The 6 pin. Ed has averaged 208 for 24 games. On championship bowling, he's had 1,700 total. His high single game was 255. Covering the count here, 183. So Ed will be under his average with about 560. There's a cover. You know, forest fires are this nation's most shameful waste. Please be careful when handling cigarettes or matches or when building a small fire. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Well, Bourdase ends it with a beautiful, solid pocket strike for 183 in the 10th, 3rd game. Still a 230 game with 2 strikes. Come on. Doesn't get there, the 2 pins, so Tuttle will settle for a 3rd 220 game.
Well, if he picks a spare, Fred, and then comes back with another 9-pin count, he'll have what we call a step ladder.
A step ladder.
222, 223, 224.
Or actually, In reverse, 224, 223, 222.
Well, he was up there seeing he's coming down.
That's quite a rut, isn't it? Beautiful rut. Careful. All right. Tommy Tuttle with the spare. 9 pins. We'll give him 222. The fellow who prefers hunting to bowling, but he likes to eat better than hunt. And he says he can buy more eats by bowling, so he bowls rather than hunts. And that's quite a lie. Go! 222! Well, Tommy Tuttle shoots the ladder here on Championship Bowling in Akron, Ohio. Well, I'd like to ask him, because we talked about that. Tommy, after the one that you showed us here on lane 24 for your 4th strike to put you in bonus money, to put you in contention for bonus money, did that actually bother you a little when you moved to the left? You had to be thinking about that strike. You don't get many of those.
Well, I was going to be sure that I didn't do it again because I didn't figure I'd carry 2 in a row like that, so I got it out too far.
Like some of the boys say, the hit was all right. The pins just fell funny.
Yeah. I just over-adjusted on 23, I think.
You over-adjusted after you got a strike.
Yeah, this one punched the nose, so I got this one out a little bit too far.
Mm-hmm. Tommy, what is the real story on this hunting thing? I know the boys do a lot of kidding, and as long as we have a minute or two here, you actually are, or you do still hunt down in North Carolina?
Yeah, I hunt a lot. I got a farm down in North Carolina, and I hunt quite a bit on it.
Mm-hmm. What do you hunt? What do you...
Oh, rabbits and squirrels.
Rabbits and squirrels.
Right.
Do you bring a... They tell me you have a coonskin cap that you take along on the tour once in a while. Is this true?
No, that's not true.
It's not true?
No, they just call me Daniel Boone, but I don't wear the cap.
They call you Daniel Boone. We missed that one. We could've. What about it, Ed? Looks like Tommy had the sights here on a little 660. He shot the ladder. You understand what we mean by shooting the ladder?
Well, Tommy went hunting today and shot a squirrel, and
there was
big
Bourdase.
squirrel. And I tried to shoot a bear, but I forgot to load the gun, Fred.
Okay, Ed and Tommy, stay here for just a moment. We have the presentations coming up. It's all on Championship Bowling from Akron, Ohio, the rubber capital of the world. Here are the final results for Ed Bourdase, 204, 179, 183. His total is 566. For Tommy Tuttle, we kind of missed the ladder there. We thought he shot the ladder. 224, 223, and then another 223. His total 670. Did you enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen? Very fine performance. We look at the statistics. Bourdase had 13 strikes and Tommy 18 strikes. And Tommy, you sure put them together. 5 in a row the first game, 4 in a row the second game, 4 in a row the third game.
That's right. I just need to put 2 more together. 1 on that 4 and 1 on the other 4.
You've been in that bonus money pretty good.
That's right.
Well, here's your $250 bonus money for the first game, $1,000 as the winner. And for you, Ed, $500 as the runner-up. Well, Tommy, in 2 appearances for the World Series, about 30 more pins there. We just might have had you around here. You still possibly might see you.
If I could have carried the 4-9 on when I had 5 in a row, I'd had a shot at it, I think. I could have been a lot more pins there.
You might have got 2, 3 more.
Well, I come back with 1 then, you know, on 23, so that'd give me a 250 game, so I'd have hit 20 more.
I'd like to talk to, thanks, Tom, I'd like to talk to Ed here for a minute because, as Pat Patterson pointed out earlier, that you have sort of become the bowling ball specialist for the Pro Tour. They tell me that you can drill a bowling ball and put a half ounce here or 1 ounce there, and you have come up with some ideas as where this ounce should be.
Yes, I have.
Can you sort of briefly tell us?
Well, it's kind of using the weight to coincide with the roll of the ball, Fred. A lot of times you have a ball drilled and you throw it and it rolls real good, and you go get another ball and you drill it exactly the same way and it doesn't roll the same. Well, this is because the weight distribution wasn't the same in the ball.
Well, I understand that you have you work it out to a formula that you look at the roll that a bowler has, and then you put the weight where you think the weight should be to coincide with the roll that the bowler throws.
Give them an extra hitting power when it hits the pin so that it pushes the pin straight back and rather than out and around.
In other words, then a 16-pound ball, by distributing 1 ounce or a half ounce in the right place, would make this much difference.
As much difference as day and night.
Well, that's something for you bowlers to think about out there, that half ounce or that 1 ounce. Gentlemen, good luck to you. Hoping to see you again on Championship Bowling. Tommy Tuttle and Ed Bourdase, ladies and gentlemen, 2 of the greatest. Good luck to you. Repeating, it's Ed Bourdase with 566. The winner, Tommy Tuttle, with 670. Sure hope you can join us here again next week at the Firestone Bowlerama in Akron, Ohio, when we'll have two more of bowling's top professional stars in a three-game match competing for a prize fund of over $70,000. So speaking for Pat Patterson and myself, this is Fred Wolf. Just keep 'em bowling out there. It's great fun. You know why? 'Cause bowling makes you feel like you'd like to. Matching shirts and slacks used on championship bowling by King Louie. Championship bowling is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress, and we wish to thank AMF for their cooperation in helping us produce championship bowling.